14 light art installations will be up at the Marina Bay area from tomorrow. It's all part of iLight Singapore 2023. More than 20 artists from 8 countries are going to be taking part. Now, for more, we speak to Festival Director Chen. Jason, welcome to the show. It is good to see you.
Hi, Dawn. Thank you for having me.
All right, so you're going to have many displays at the Marina Bay area and also 2 new locations, we understand, as well. South Beach and Millennium Walk. Tell us what the rationale is behind expanding these locations.
Well, Dawn, this year the festival is based on the theme of a new wave, and it's anchored on the color blue, right, which is omnipresent in all the water bodies around us, such as our oceans and the rivers that we have. So blue is going to be the guiding principle in helping us curate the entire festival. Now, with every edition, we try very hard to find new ideas, inject new experiences for visitors, both to draw the existing ones that are very familiar with the festival, as well as hopefully new ones to come to the festival. And with the expansion to South Beach and Millennium Walk, we hope that it will also inspire and spark new ideas, and of course make it more accessible for the public coming to the festival.
Yeah, meeting the expectations of people is always there because you would have had guests coming from before. Now, if we start at Art Science Museum, we've got Glacier Dreams there. So tell us something about this particular piece.
Well, Glacier Dreams is a spectacular projection on the facade of the Art Science Museum. And this is presented by Turkish-American media artist Rafik Anadol, a very acclaimed, very accomplished artist. Now, what he has done with this particular installation is to transform data that's based on glaciers around the world into an artificial intelligence-based narrative. Now, this is a multi-sensory immersive experience that visitors will be able to see how the glaciers and all that is impacted by climate change, by rising sea levels. So I think the artist's intention is really to drive greater awareness about the impact on our environment with many of the things that we do today.
Yeah, I love the fact that you've woven in the idea of climate action as well. So important for visitors to be able to experience that. That's right. in an exhibition like this. Let's go on to Clifford Square now. We've got something a little bit different, some interactive information going. Tell us something behind this.
Yeah, so what drew us to the artist's proposal on Trumpet Flowers is its scale and, of course, the interactivity that you highlighted. Now, visitors will have the opportunity to play with the controls that forms part of the installation to create a floral symphony. So as you can see from the visual, it's made up of a series of flower sculptures, and when visitors pressed on the controls, they create that floral symphony with light, sound and colors. So it's really going to be very delightful and very fun for visitors.
So the people are to scale and the flowers are as large as that.
That's right.
Okay, so there's quite a big differential there. Okay, on to the promontory now. Again, you mentioned this when you first joined us, Jason, that the color blue is a constant theme. It keeps recurring. Can't help but notice that it's also here in Lightwave. Yes. Tell us again the significance behind this.
Well, Lightwave Turning the Tide, presented by Alibaba Cloud, a key partner for iLight this year, is a journey that we hope to put visitors through. It's a very immersive experience over 3 chapters. Now, the intention is to educate the public, remind the public again about how our behavior has repercussions on our environment. And through this process, we hope to remind everybody that the little changes that we can make to our daily behavior, our practices, will go a long way to conserving our environment for generations to come. So it's a very meaningful installation at the promontory, so we hope people will visit and take a closer look at it.
Now, one of those 2 new locations that we started this conversation about right from the top, South Beach, you're looking to encourage a new, different group of artists with this one, aren't you? Tell us something about these works we're looking at.
Well, we always want to try and promote the talent or give opportunity to our youth in looking at how their ideas, their works can be presented at iLight as well. So these two artworks are actually by two different groups of students. Show 3 is a installation presented by students from NAFA, Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts, and the James Cook University. Now, the artists have a very interesting idea in presenting a series of shower heads of different heights. Now, the intention is for people to experience through the blue light that's activated when they go through the artworks, the soundscape that comes with the installation, as well as the virtual water drops that can be seen when they're immersed in there. The idea is to, again, raise awareness about the use of water. Right. So a very nice artwork there, a very delightful one. And the other artwork, Bleached, is actually about the corals and the reefs that are found in our water bodies, in the sea, in the oceans. Now, the artists have made the effort to use upcycled single-use plastics, as well as seaweed bio plastics to create the artwork. And what's interesting is it's interactive. And visitors go near to the artwork itself, the features will actually change to the white color. So it's trying to drive home the message of coral bleaching and its impact on our environment.
Again, that sustainability theme running through this iLight exhibition, a wonderful premise for this. Right at the end, we've got Millennia Walk, but for that one, Prism. Thank you, Jason, first off. But to find out more about this work that's on display at Millennia Walk, we're going to go back to the studio. John is there with the artist himself.
All right, that's right, Don. In fact, I have Jun Ong with me. He's the artist, behind Prism, and it's an interesting title of the work. Give us a sense of how that came to be, what's behind the work, what's behind the inspiration.
So Prism is a large-scale, site-specific installation. It's an immersive one, and I was particularly inspired by geometries and colors. I work with a lot of lighting installations, and it's my first time working in colors, so it's something that's exciting for me. And it's situated at Millennia Walk. So when I first went to Millennia Walk a couple of months ago, I was immediately drawn by the architecture of the space. It was designed by one of my favorite architects, Philip Johnson, and it has these incredible truncated pyramidal ceilings with that act as light shafts, right? And I was very inspired by the idea of kind of drawing in natural light, in that space, and could we invert it in this work, right? Instead of drawing in light, it emits light, hence Prism, right?
Yeah, so we're looking at it on the screen right now, and you bring up a very interesting point. There's some parallels between the site of the installation as well as the installation itself. And I was reading the synopsis earlier, and it says that people who visit it could perhaps leave with a kind of emotional takeaway from being immersed in this exhibit. Tell us more about that. What do you hope people take away from the exhibit?
I think creating this artwork and playing with colors, I really hope that people would actually slow down and take a pause in their otherwise extremely hectic lives, right? And be immersed with the colors. We've also created an amazing soundscape with a Malaysian sound artist, Shahil. So I want people to find their own connections between sound, lights, and also colors, right? And to build a sort of a sense of a personal connection with these elements. Yeah.
Give us just a very quick sense of what you think people are going to experience, right, when they enter this exhibit or when they come close to this exhibit. You mentioned soundscapes there, sounds quite immersive.
Yeah.
Give us a sense of what happens.
I think they'll be a little bit taken aback because it's quite a big piece, so they would see it almost like this spaceship that landed out of nowhere, in this mall. But then when they step closer and when they look up, on the ceiling and they see that, very subtle connection between the work and also the architecture of the mall, and they slowly form their connections with it and to see it from inside or to even stand from afar to look at the piece as an object, So, I like to leave it really kind of vague, and I don't want to impose any sort of like ways to experience the work, but, you find your own personal connections.
Yes, people really would have to go down and experience it for yourself. For you on a personal level, having your work exhibited as part of iLight, as a light artist, what does it mean for you?
No, it's a personal one, I Like, because I first participated in I Like in 2016, so 7 years ago. And to come back, almost a decade, stronger, more experienced, more excited, and to work with a completely different set of brief and then location. I'm very excited. It was a great platform for me, back then, and it still is now. And I'm always very curious to see how people would interact with my work. It's a long growing process for me. And yeah, I know the team has really put in a lot of effort, my team in Malaysia, and to really see it come to life from KL into Singapore, it's a tremendous journey for us,
Sounds incredible, and we really wish you the very best of luck.
Thanks.
With your exhibit, Prism. We've been speaking there with Jun Ong, who is a light artist behind the work Prism, and earlier we were speaking with Jason Chen from URA. Thanks very much for sharing those details this year.